Hey, hey, everybody. This is Sharika Matthews of Live Life Beyond Barriers. How's everyone today? It is Sunday night and it is a great night. Today has been a really peaceful day today. So I hope all you guys are having a great Sunday, a great peaceful day. I hope that you have spent your day around loved ones, around friends, and around family. And if you're like me, enjoy a little bit of football. But I wanted to get on here today and talk to you about your vision, about the plan for that vision, and what it really costs to walk out that vision. What gave me this inspiration to do this was really a little bit of my own life, and then this particular scripture that I found. It's out of Luke 14, and it says, "For which of you, desiring to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it?" You know, we know about writing the vision and making it plain. We know about creating plans so that we have a definite path of achieving that vision. But do we really understand the cost? So let's start at the beginning here. When we talk about the vision, what exactly do you want for your life? What do you want for your love? What do you want for your career and your purpose? Hey Ray, thank you for joining me. What really is your vision, and is your vision in alignment with what God has for you? You know, a lot of times we have these dreams, we create these vision boards, and we have all of these pictures and expectations of our lives, but have you actually checked in with God to make sure that what you desire is what He desires for your life? What is your vision, and is your vision God's vision? And then the next thing is create the plan. You know, God has plans for your life, and you should have plans for your life as well. But again, checking in with God to make sure that your plans are in alignment with His plans. I've told you guys this example before, but I was bad about creating my own plans and then taking my plans to God. So, okay, God, here you go. Bless my plan now. Because I typed it all out and I double spaced it, and it's in like a little 3-ring binder. I was bad about that. Until I learned that let me go to God first. And see what God's plans are for my life, and let's co-create these plans together so that I'm not out here doing my own thing and God's like, you know, whenever you're ready, Sharika, I got a really good plan for you, a plan to prosper you, not to harm you. Your plan's going to take you down into the thorns and the weeds and all this extra stuff. But yeah, thank you, Ray. Thank you for that. Yes, I actually like to share stuff that I go through. It's real. We all go through things. So hey, whatever I learned, I'm going to share with you guys. So I'm glad that you are enjoying what I've been sharing with you guys lately. But yeah, I got to remember to include God in my plans. Because again, God tells us that He has plans for our lives already. He has plans to prosper us. He has plans to protect us. He has plans to elevate us. He has plans to use us. But we don't know those plans until we actually consult God on them. But what I really want to talk to you about today is the cost. Again, when the Bible says, which of you desiring to build a tower does not first sit down and count the cost, whether he has enough to complete it? What is the cost of the vision that you have for your life? What is the cost of the plans that you have to execute to achieve the vision for your life? We don't always really understand or talk about that. Even when you think about starting a business, right? We have this plan, this vision of creating a business that uses our purpose and uses our God-given gifts. But do you really sit down and count the cost? Do you understand there's going to be a financial cost to starting your own business, but what about the emotional cost? What about the cost is going to be on your family? What about the cost is going to be on your time and on your health? You have to count the cost in all areas of your life so that you are fully mentally and spiritually prepared for that cost. So here are some questions to ask yourself when you're sitting down and counting the cost, whether you're counting the cost for the vision of your love life, the vision of your business, or whatever the case may be. And I joke with a couple of friends of mine. I always tell them, ain't no way in the world I'm going to marry a pastor. Because the calling, I know the cost that it takes to be a person in ministry. That is a huge cost, and people don't really understand that to be a minister's wife, to be a pastor's wife, that requires sacrifice. that requires a good piece of humble pie. And I'm not quite sure if I am the one for that. But if God tells me otherwise, I'll adjust my plans. But you have to count the cost, even in your romantic relationships. When you are saying, I want this type of woman or I want this type of man, do you really know what that costs? I saw this meme on the other day about if you want a wealthy man, then you have to accept a busy man. That's what you mean about counting the cost of your relationships. If you want someone who's wealthy, if you want someone who owns his own business, if you want someone who has children already, some people want someone who has children already. Do you know the cost it takes to be with that type of person? Count the cost of what it is you're really asking for. So the first thing is, who do you need on your team? Or who do you not want on your team? So when you are very clear on your purpose, you're very clear on the vision that God has for you, and you're creating this plan, who do you need to be there with you? I talk sometimes about your dream team. Your dream team is something that I came up with, that I said I need these types of people in my life in order for me to achieve the vision and the dreams that I have for myself. So I have to have an accountability partner. I have to have a spiritual partner, someone who can pray with me, for me, and on me. I have to have my cheerleader and my motivator, and I have to have a professional, someone who has the professional knowledge to coach me and guide me to where I need to be, both professionally and personally. So who do you need on your team to build your tower? Who do you need on your team in order for you to achieve the vision that God has for you? Or ask yourself the flip of it. Who do you not need on your team? You don't need people on your team who's always negative. You don't need people on your team who is always looking for you to pour into them but not willing to pour into you. So get very clear on who you need on your team, because what you'll find out is the people who are currently in your circle probably can't stay in your circle. The people who have gone with you to this level may not go with you to this level. You're going to need some new people. And also what happens is, you've heard the concepts of different friendship circles, right? You have your inner circle, your middle circle, and your outer circle. People will begin to get fluid. The people who were once in your inner circle probably move to your middle circle. And maybe there are some people in your life who are currently in your middle circle that has to move to your inner circle in order to help elevate you, in order to help you achieve the vision that you have. And you'll also find you'll end up having to meet new people, bring in strangers or strangers that become friends to help elevate you to the next level. So when you're counting the cost, remember that when you are building your tower and building your dreams and building your vision, that you may lose some people, but you may also gain some people as well. So count the cost. Who do you need on your team? The second question is, what decisions do you need to make? When it comes to building your dreams and moving towards your visions, you have to have the strength of character to make the tough decisions. So one of these things in the realm of relationships is, do I leave this good man because I know he's not the right man? When it comes to building a business, do I need to fire my business partner? Do I need to fire my cousin, who is my personal assistant, because the only reason she got hired is because she is my cousin, but she's not doing a good job? Are you prepared to make those tough decisions? Are you prepared to make the decision to stay up late at night to do the work? Are you prepared to make the tough decisions to tell your wife, honey, I have to quit my job in order to pursue this dream? It's going to be tough right now. And I really hate to put this burden on you, but if you bear with me for 12 months, I promise you that it will get better. Are you prepared to make those decisions? And what decisions do you need to make along the way? This requires you to not just have a right now physical vision or a spiritual vision, but also a big picture vision, seeing everything from a bird's eye view and not just from your nest view. Get up high and look and see the whole picture and how dynamic this is going to be in order to get clear on the decisions that you need to make. The third question is, who will this affect? When you're building your tower, you're building your dreams, you're building your family, you're building your vision, who is it going to affect? And this is so true for people who have families, who have a spouse, who have children, or you really have a close network of people. When you decide to move forward in your purpose, when you decide to move forward in your vision, it will affect other people. In the realm of dating and relationships, when you are pursuing a certain type of relationship, you have to be aware of how this relationship is affecting your children. You have to be aware of how this relationship is going to affect your relationship with your parents. If you are a man and you are considering marriage, you have to leave your parents, leave your mother and father, and cleave to your wife. That means that when you decide to get married, your relationship with your parents will change. How are the decisions that you're making affecting the people that are in your life? When you are deciding to start a business, when you're deciding to pursue being a VP of your company, how are those decisions affecting the people in your life? When you are pursuing promotion in your company, it may require that you work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. How will that affect your home life? Are you prepared to miss out on your children's football game? Who will it affect? The fourth question you should ask yourself is, will there be short-term discomfort? And that's really not really a question, it should be a statement. There will be short-term discomfort when you are deciding to work your plan, to move towards your vision. It can and will get uncomfortable. That is a part of the growth process. Are you prepared for that? Are you prepared to be uncomfortable? Are you expecting to be uncomfortable? You know, sometimes when we're going through this process, we are not truly honest with ourselves about how difficult the road can be. Yes, God will go before you, make your crooked places straight, but that doesn't mean there won't be thorns on the road. It doesn't mean that there won't be rocks and boulders on the road. It just means the road may be straight for you. It doesn't mean it's always going to be easy or easier. So be prepared that there will be some short-term discomfort. And that short-term discomfort, again, will affect your relationships. It will affect your romantic relationships, your family relationships, and just any your professional relationships. If there will be some short-term discomfort, so be prepared for that. The fifth thing is, how will this affect your bottom line? When we're talking about business, when we're talking about advancing in your career, even when we're talking about romantic relationships, how will this affect your pocketbook? How will this affect your bottom line? And how will this affect the end results of your purpose? So let me take a step back here. When we're talking about your vision, your purpose, your gifts, there is a purpose for the purpose. There is a purpose for the gift. There is a purpose for the vision. What is that purpose? Are you really clear on that? You know, you may have the gift of singing. What is the purpose of that gift of singing? That gift of singing, the purpose of that gift could be to give hope, to soothe, to calm. And so when you're thinking about moving towards that vision, when you think about that, how are your steps, how are your actions, how are your decisions affecting the bottom line of soothing people, of ministering to people, of doing whatever it is, of accomplish whatever it is that your purpose is really there for? If your purpose is to be a coach, if your purpose is to be a life coach, every decision that I make, I have to ask myself, how is this affecting the bottom line of me helping and serving other women and men to achieve their best life yet? I have to take that into account and count my costs. So that's what I mean. Not just your pocketbook, not just your financial status, but also the status and the reason and the purpose behind your gift and behind your purpose and behind your vision. And then when we're talking about counting the costs, add some contingency. You know, add some contingency to all of this. Hey Denise, thank you. I know it's been a while. We will definitely have a chat here soon. So thanks for joining me tonight. So on this, we want to talk about adding contingency. So when we're counting the costs, we're counting how it's going to affect our relationships. We're counting how it's going to affect our time. We are understanding now that it's going to require some discomfort and maybe some sacrifices. And whatever it is you think is going to happen, add a little bit to it, add about 15% more to it. You know, when I worked as a project engineer, we were doing these proposals for these $1 million and $1 billion contracts. There was always a line of contingency. You gotta have contingency because you don't know the unknown. So you have to prepare for what you don't know. Add some contingency. So if you think you're gonna work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, prepare to work 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you believe that, you know, on your pursuit of your vision, of your goals, that you're going to leave, you're going to lose a couple of friends, you should probably count on losing about 4 friends instead of 2 friends. Things like that. So counting the cost, add some contingency to it and add a little bit more. And I'm saying that to be funny, but again, it's really just reiterating the fact that you don't know what you don't know. So you take that and you give it to God. And that's the last point here, is to add your faith on top of that. Because it's going to require faith. It's going to require supreme belief, supreme confidence, supreme reliance on God to get you from where you are today to the vision that God has for you tomorrow. So count the cost. In your physical world, you want to look at all angles. And I use the example of standing in a room, right? So let's say your room is maybe symbolic of, the center of the room is symbolic of your vision, but then the 4 walls and the 4 corners of your room are symbolic of the different areas of your life that your vision will touch. So if you stand in this corner of the room, you're looking at the other 3 corners, you get one perspective. You switch and stand on this corner, you get another perspective. So that's how you count the cost. You get to stand in different angles and see things from a different point of view so that you can be very clear on, as much as possible anyway, on how your decisions and how your movements are going to affect other areas of your life. And it's just so that you won't be completely caught off guard. And then it's also getting in alignment spiritually and saying, okay, God, this is what I know. This is what I see with my physical eyes, but I walk by faith and not by sight. So I need you to strengthen my spiritual eyes so I can see the things that are happening in the spiritual realm that I may not be aware of, and I can be completely prepared for this particular journey that I'm on. And also know that God may not show you the whole plan or the whole situation that is going to take for you to walk in your vision, but know He's going to give you enough of what you need for that moment. So in all of this, in all of your vision, writing the vision and making plain, in all of your planning and all of your counting the cost, always add a healthy dose of faith to it, knowing that you are walking by faith, which is walking by your spiritual beliefs and not by your physical sight. So I hope that this particular lesson was very valuable for you. And I want to make you this offer. If you are a professional woman who is ready to find your fulfillment in your vision, in your purpose, and in your relationships, so that you no longer struggle with not really living up to your potential or not really living out the plan and the vision that God has for you, I'm here to help you. I am ready to work with women right now. I have a few more coaching slots open up for the month of September to help women who are ready to walk boldly, to walk confidently in the vision and the plans that God has for her, so that she can find success, so that she can find fulfillment, so that she can finally experience the love that she really wants in her life. If this is you, I want you to send me a private message here on Facebook or send me an email to sm@livelifebeyondbarriers.com. So until next time, you guys, if you have any questions about anything I've said today, leave a comment here below or send me a private message. And as always, I encourage you to share this with someone else. Again, I enjoy doing what I do. I enjoy sharing with you my lessons learned as I go through my own journey in living out my purpose and living out the vision that God has for me. So I do things to help elevate you and help elevate your circle as well. So share this with people that you may know who could use this message as well. All right, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful Sunday evening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.